In this section of our notes, we're going to review the active processes that we talked about last class, and they're highlighted in yellow. Compare them again to the passive processes. There's 3 of those that we learned. And then we're just going to be focusing on osmosis, the movement of water. And you need to be able to predict which way water is going to move when I give you different scenarios. In our notes, we left off talking about the 3 types of transports that are considered active because they cost the cell energy. On the next page, I put a summary of all 6 types of transports. Remember, 3 of them are considered passive and 3 of them are considered active. The ones that are passive, it means that no energy is being used by the cell to move those molecules through that type of transport. And that's because the molecules are all moving from an area of high concentration to an area of low concentration. Remember that diffusion is how molecules cross if they can easily cross the membrane. And that's the case if they're small, they're uncharged, or they're nonpolar, like the tails. Water can move from high to low, but it's going to have to go through a channel protein called an aquaporin because water is polar. Other polar molecules, when they cross, we don't call it osmosis, we say that facilitated diffusion is occurring. Also, ions will have a charge on them, so they have to cross through transport proteins as well. As for the 3 types of active processes, we have active transport. And in that situation, it's going to cost the cell some energy because we're moving molecules or ions from low concentrations to high concentrations. So it's going to cost the cell some ATP molecules. Now, in endocytosis and exocytosis, we're not necessarily moving molecules from low to high, and that's why it's costing the cell energy. It just takes energy to move the membrane, form these vesicles, move these vesicles along the cytoskeletons. That's why they're considered active processes. Endocytosis is a way that cells can take in large molecules or substances. Exocytosis is a way for them to excrete or get rid of or move molecules out. Now, a few important pieces of information we want to make sure that you understand is, first, if you look at this box and you compare it to this box, you can see they're exactly the same. In active transport, we're still moving the same types of molecules as we are in facilitated diffusion. It's just high to low in diffusion or facilitated diffusion, but again, it's low to high. It's going to cost the cell some energy. So it's just like they're identical processes, except one is backwards, and it's going to cost the cell some ATP. Now, remember, another way to say molecules are being moved from high to low is we say that they're moving down or with the concentration gradient. When it comes to active transport, we're going to say that the molecules are being moved up or against the concentration gradient.